Lester lived his whole life as a homosexual. The day he was born, his 13-year-old brother held him in his arms and said, "This baby is gay." Lester came out in the 90s and lived 28 years as a woman, but he never strayed too far from the church. And then one day, the Lord Jesus called him back to him. And he responded and said yes. And now God is transforming him into the man he was created to be. Listen to part 1 of Lester's story, from born gay to born again. Okay, welcome, Lester Washington.
Oh, thank you. How are you?
I am doing great. Okay, so welcome to Breaking Curses 101. First of all, how did you find me?
Um, well, after repenting, I was kind of looking for guidance as to spiritual to assist me in my spiritual walk. So I was on YouTube, I think it was. I can't remember if it was YouTube or TikTok, and I came across you, and I was just intrigued, and it just kind of went from there.
Okay, which video caught your attention? Do you know? Do you
If I'm
remember?
not mistaken, I think it was the one with the guy that kind of went over the pew at the church. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was that one. I think that was the first thing that I saw, and I was just like, "What the heck is going on here?" Let me watch this girl. What's she doing? Oh, okay. Black Panther. Oh, Jesus Christ. So glad I didn't go see that. But anyway, but yeah. I think that was the first one I saw. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, hooked you. Reeled you right in. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you had a really, really interesting story. I want to really get into it. Your email that you sent me messed me up for the rest of the day.
Did it? I'm so sorry. I'm
I
so
was doing some
sorry.
research and I had to just put it all down. It was the
Okay.
pictures. It was the pictures. And
Oh,
it was everything. It was everything. So
so what was it
you
about the picture? You couldn't believe the difference?
yeah, yeah. It was, yeah, the whole difference. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about, you said you were born gay.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
about that. So you don't recall any molestation in
Um,
as a toddler or anything like that?
Not as a toddler, no. There was some inappropriate things that took place after my mom's death, which was at 13. But as a toddler, no, my mom, she was so she covered her children. Like she kept us very close. We didn't deal with a lot of babysitters. We didn't spend nights
Oh,
um at other people's house.
was it a two
Um
was it a two-parent home?
yes, my mother and my father. hmm
Okay.
Both of them were in ministry. Um
Oh.
uh-huh. Um so the only real babysitter that we had was my cousin Deborah, and I love her dearly to this day, and she was one of the best babysitters you can ever want for a child because all she did was taught us church songs all night.
Okay.
Like traveling shoes, Lord, got on my traveling shoes. Remember that little song, traveling shoes? She used to sing that with us a lot, and so
Oh,
um, yeah, I don't remember. I can't ever recall any molestation as a toddler. No,
okay.
as a teenager, yeah.
So what happened at 5 years old? You mentioned something at 5 years old.
At 5 years old in the kindergarten, Well, first of all, at like 4 and a half, the devil tried to kill me by allowing a garage door to fall on me.
Oh
Okay,
my goodness. It fell off the
right.
track?
It came totally off the track. It was the old school like barn wooden doors that close together. It was one of
Okay.
those. My
Oh.
mom and dad were I think they might have at this grocery store doing taking care of business. My oldest brother was home with us. He's 13 years older than me. Which we never had a good relationship ever. Um, but he was washing clothes in the garage and he went to close the door. And when he went to close the door just came off the hinges. And I just stood there and it just hit me and took my leg and wrapped all the way around.
Oh
And
my goodness.
my foot was here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that happened. Um, and by the time I got out of the hospital, because they had me in traction for some time.
So you broke something. Like
Oh, I broke up all my hip, my leg on the left
what?
side. Yeah.
At 4 years
So
old.
at four, like 4 and a half, because it was just before me going to kindergarten.
Mm.
So in kindergarten, um, I had a boyfriend. I literally had a boyfriend in kindergarten, and we would sit and hold hands under the table.
What?
Um, yeah, like he sat right next to me, and we would just hold hands under the table. And I knew that it was wrong, because my parents are in ministry, so they taught us right from wrong and what you should not be doing. I've always been extremely, extremely feminine, so I was always chastised about that. Um, so I knew that being gay was not what I was supposed to be.
Okay.
you know,
Okay. Even at 5 years old.
at 5 years old, I
But
knew
you
better.
you knew better,
But
but you went after this kid
I
and
don't know if I went after him or it was just like I remember the Cubbies one day saying to him, "Are you gay?" And he said, "Yes, are you gay?" And then I guess that just like made us
wait
boyfriend
a
and
minute.
girlfriend.
About what year was this? Let's put this in
In the
perspective.
70s. It was in the
Just in
70s.
the 70s, you all are
Yeah,
asking each other that?
yeah,
You even knew what that was back
yeah. Because
then?
I had an older brother. I had an older brother that's 13 years older than me. So
Mm.
I knew what sissy meant. I knew what
Okay.
bag meant. So,
Okay. Okay.
because
They use those terms a lot.
he would constantly stop acting like a and I remember my oldest brother telling me one time, and I never forget it. And I even asked him, did he remember telling me this on his dying bed when I was his caregiver? I was like, um, I remember him telling me one time, that's why when you grow up, you're gonna turn into a little girl, and then you're gonna turn back into a boy. I
On his death.
No, no, no. He told me this when I was like 5 to 6 years old. Yes,
Oh. And so
yes,
this was the 13, this is the one who's 13 years older than you.
exactly.
He told you that?
Yes, on his deathbed, I reminded him of telling me that. He said he don't have any recollection of ever saying it, but
That was
I rem-
prophetic.
I remember, I remember it like yesterday because when he said it, it confused me. I'm like, what? How is it possible for you to turn, from a little boy to a girl and then back to a boy? I mean, how is it possible for you to turn from a boy to a girl, period? You know what I'm saying? At 5 or 6 years old, that was just really heavy for me,
Yeah.
and I internalized it. I kept it in my mind, like he said,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Hmm.
Okay. So 5 years old, you had a little boyfriend, and that's crazy. Okay. So tell me about church. You said your parents were ministers.
Hmm. Well,
Tell me.
at 5, they were ministers, but they were what they call lay ministers. In
Okay.
the Pentecostal church, they weren't pastors yet, anything
Yeah.
like that. Um,
So they weren't active. They weren't preaching.
they were preaching, but they preached, at um our church under the pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't like they had their own church. My mom did a lot of mission work Um,
Okay.
she did a lot of she took us to the rest homes and had us singing to people and
We did the same thing. Oh my goodness.
really
Yes, my daddy had us singing at rest homes.
yes, yeah.
That's what they consider mission work, visiting the
Yes,
sick and shut in.
yeah, visiting the sick and shut in. She would take us with her a lot of times. I didn't really like it. Um, now I know as an adult that I'm actually was an introvert, but because of who my parents were, I was made to be an extrovert. I was made to communicate. I was made to. I didn't really want to talk to these people. Um, yeah, I, I don't want. I don't know that lady. I don't want to sing to her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to hug me.
I hear you.
Yeah, but that's a child, and you're taking them kind of out of their comfort zone. But I thank God for it now because it made me a whole lot more open to people and communicating with people. But
Okay,
um,
so now let's get into this relationship. Okay, the first sexual encounter.
my first sexual encounter, my very first sexual encounter, hmm,
Mm-hmm.
so it was about 8 years old. We had moved from the Sanford area to my mom's hometown, Wilmington area, Wilmington, North Carolina. And there was a cousin, it was kind of a distant cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is one of the few times that my mom allowed us to go and play with them. And I remember,
One time.
yeah, being in the yard. It happened right in the front yard with my brother and other cousins right there playing with us. And I don't know, I can't remember exactly how he manipulated it, but it was a oral introduction right in the front yard.
He on you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It's like the devil saying you have no protection.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was the very first one. Um
Okay.
the actual, out now the boyfriend in kindergarten, all we did was held hands.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think we may have kissed a couple of times, but
Wow.
actually sex. And I'd say a maybe kiss because even as an adult, I've never been one to exchange saliva. I never really liked it. If I kiss you, I really, 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 really like you a lot. A lot. I really if I let you put your tongue in my mouth, I really like you a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah. I've always been my family has always called me scornful. They always said I was very scornful. I was very,
Yeah.
but
So how did life change after that first encounter?
after the first encounter, I think well I know that's when I started having like the crazy dreams. Um
Oh, what kind of
yeah,
dreams?
I remember having sex. Well, I can't even say it was sex. I just remember me and this monkey. Yeah, it was a monkey like used to hold each other in his dreams. But when I would wake up, I would be sexually aroused.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm doing
So
this dream interpretation thing as you're talking
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
even gotten into your dreams yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So um I remember taking it to my mom at about 9, maybe 10 years old
Mm-hmm.
because it happened more than once. And I said to her, and she interpreted other people's dreams. So I kind of was wanting her to interpret this one. Right. And I was like, Ma, just out of the blue one day, like, Ma, I had a dream. Oh, what did you have a dream about? I dreamed that I was kissing a monkey and I was hugging and kissing a monkey. And she just kind of looked at me like, boy, get out of my face.
She didn't understand. You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's bestiality in the bloodline.
Yeah. I know that now. Now
Okay, okay.
I know that
Oh, that's
now.
right. You've been watching enough videos now.
Yeah, I don't watch everyone you got out there. So yeah, I know that now because um even though I never participated with an animal, okay,
Mhm.
um there was a time, and it was um as Lexi, um that I kind of got curious about, like, what is it about animals that people want to have sex with them, right? Why would somebody
Okay,
want to have sex with a horse or a sheep or a pig? You know what I'm saying? It just, I just wondering why, right? And I
okay.
remember actually
Odd
Googling.
question. Odd, odd question to even be considering. But go ahead. Yep. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh
But
huh.
well, I think I considered it because of stuff that you would see on YouTube and not YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram. And I think one time there was somebody that had like a pig that looked half human, half pig, and so it kind of drew me into, like, why do these crazy people want to be with the animal?
Right.
So
Okay.
I found myself then going to porn, trying to find, yeah, Beastology. I want to see what
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So, okay. So it was manifesting that way.
yeah,
There it is.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and even
Mm.
though after watching it, um, what I saw was a little bit too much for me. I was just like, huh, okay, and that was kind of it for that.
That was that.
Yeah,
Then.
the picture was in my mind even right now, but this poor guy trying to deal with a horse. I'm like, what the world?
Well, you saw my video about bestiality, right?
I think I did. I'm
About
almost
the
sure I
slave,
did.
about the slave.
Hmm. No, I don't think I must have missed that one.
All right. You can check that out later.
Okay. Yeah, I must have missed that one.
Yeah. I'll try to send you the link later.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So you were exploring that, you're done with that. How did your relationship with men? I mean, did you go after men at that point or were they just still coming after you?
after the oral situation with the no, I didn't go after men. I've never been one to go after men. I've never went after a man. Now, men have accused me many times over of turning them out. Okay. But it's a lie because, first of all, I never wanted to be involved with anybody that didn't know what they were doing, that I had to teach.
Okay.
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 So I know that's a lie. Two, I know I have never, like, gone out of my way to seduce a guy, like to bring him in. Now, what I will do is set my affections on him by looking at him and saying, I want him.
And that's all you had to say?
That's all I had to say. That's
Like it was
all I
some kind
had
of
to say.
power. Did they hear you
That's
say it or did you say
no,
it?
no, no. They can be. I don't. All I had. They could. No, they didn't have to hear me. All I had to do is set my affections on them and be like, I want him. He's
Okay.
okay. And I can leave it alone. It might be today. It might be tomorrow. It might be 2 years from now. But I would eventually I would have him, and I wouldn't have to actually go after him. All I would have to do is be myself, and he would gravitate to me. Now, at 8 years old, at 9 years old, 9, 10 years old, we moved from Wilmington back to Sanford, North Carolina. Okay, and we were living in what they call the old projects. They had a set called Old Projects, New Projects. Okay, we were living in the old projects, and my brother and I, my baby brother and I, were outside playing, and here come this dark-skinned, bow-legged, handsome guy across the yard, and he comes over to us, and he introduces himself to us, and tell us that you guys are my cousins, right? I'm like, okay. But I'm looking at him thinking like, hmm, Points out his house and say, "I live there. My mama name is Brenda. Your mom and daddy know who I am. Woo, woo, woo." Right? Fine. He walks off, and I turned to my baby brother and said, "That's gonna be my boyfriend one day."
And you
I was like maybe 9, 10 years old.
oh, wow.
My
Okay.
brother was so appalled. He ran in the house and told my mama.
Oh.
And of course, I got scolded and anointed.
They slapped all kind of oil on you, trying to cast stuff out.
I got scolded and anointed with oil and prayed over and all this kind of stuff. Why would I say something like that? That's your cousin, this, that, and the other. And
So
long
they were
story
trying to
short,
fight it. They were trying to fight this thing on you.
yeah, yeah. I really believe in my heart that my mom knew I know that she knew I was gay because the things that she used to say, like a man doesn't want to come home to a dirty house. They a man don't want a woman that can't cook. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know what I'm saying?
She was talking
Um,
to you as if you were a daughter?
I don't think she was talking to me she didn't put it as if she was saying it to me as a daughter. She was putting it more so as she's saying it to me as a son as to what to expect from a woman.
Oh,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but me listening, I'm like, okay, I'm taking it and flipping it myself, saying, got it. Got it. Keep my house clean. Mama, how you cooking that? Let me watch. So yeah, and that guy that I spoke at 9 years old, saying that he was gonna be my boyfriend one day. By the time I was 21, I was on my way to a gay bar at like 10, 11 o'clock at night because my friends and we didn't leave the house until 10 or 11. We didn't get to the bar until about 12. Okay. And we didn't leave out the bar until about 6 in the morning. However, on the way there, I passed him. I passed him walking across the train tracks that I had to slow down. And I slowed down. He said, woo woo to me, and I stopped. He walked up to my car. We had a short conversation, and then we agreed to meet later on that night or the next day. He gave me a number to call him. And this is my cousin, right? And even though it wasn't a close cousin, it still was a cousin. Okay.
Right.
And after that, the next day, we saw each other and we were together for 15 years after that.
15 whole years.
Yeah.
Not
14 and a half, 15 years.
exclusively. Not exclusively.
Well, I was exclusive with him for the most part. Now, for the most part, I was. Yeah. We lived together, everything. Actually,
Oh,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, it was a known relationship. My family knew, everybody. We were not hiding at all. Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Whew. Okay. So let's go backwards a little bit
Hmm.
to when your mother passed.
Hmm.
And it was your father wait, you said your father passed first.
No, my mother
No,
passed first.
no, first. Okay.
Yeah, my mother passed when I was 13. Um, by the time she passed, I had already taken on all the womanly duties of the house, such as cooking, cleaning, all that good stuff.
Because
After
she
she
was
passed,
sick.
because she was,
How long did she stay sick?
she was sick off and on my entire life, really. Okay,
Oh.
but she did work and she was able to take care of her family. But I'm gonna say that for about 3 years, she was sick to the point of um, she didn't get around well. She didn't go anywhere but church, doctor, home.
Mm,
Um, Even the grocery store trip, she would sometimes drive, and I would get out and go in and get everything that she wanted me to get or do what she wanted me to do. I remember cooking my first Thanksgiving dinner um, when I think I was maybe 11 or 12.
really?
I cooked everything, the turkey, the
What?
everything. Yeah. Well, now, of course, she was in the room telling me what to do. In the house that we lived in at the time, she could see from the kitchen. She can kind of look around the corner and see what I was doing. So she would say, "Bring this to me. And let me see what it looks like." and I'd bring the pot or whatever it is and go back in there and do XYZ to it. And yeah, but that was
Okay.
one of our best Thanksgiving meals ever, I think. You ask me.
Okay. I mean, come on
Yeah,
now. I would have felt the
yeah,
same way, but that's
yeah. I had an
congratulations
auntie
on
that
that.
came to that dinner and she asked me to teach her how to make sweet potato pies. She was so impressed, like, show me how you did this.
Wow. It was better than your mother's cooking?
I don't know about that. My mom was a really good cook, so I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. I wouldn't dare say that, but yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I
All
would
right.
say I'm a apple off the old tree, but not quite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Um. So yeah, she died at when I was 13. Um. After she passed, that protection that was there was no longer there because my father, he was a hard worker. He loved the Lord, but he was just a hard worker, and he loved his children. But he was accustomed to being a provider because his wife was sometimes working, sometimes not, sometimes working, sometimes not. So somebody had to keep the constant flow of income to keep everything afloat.
Right.
So with that, that's when the teenage molestation started with another cousin. Um,
Mm.
that
Did they
was
come on to you? Or did you
yes, yes, they did.
so they're just come is you just got hands reaching out at you every
Yes,
chance just hands just
yes,
coming for
yes,
you.
yes. Now, and that particular cousin taught me really all about sex. You
Oh,
know,
was it
um,
painful?
very, very, because they wouldn't. They were. They yeah. It was very. Yeah, yeah.
Were you thinking, is it worth it?
Um, they kind of groomed me because they were constantly telling me, "You're gonna make somebody a good B one day."
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're gonna be a good B. Yeah, yeah. So they kind of
Wait,
groom.
wait. What kind of goal is that in life? Like wanted to, you were going to feel accepted? Is like, how would that have appealed to somebody?
Um, well, at the time, I guess in my adolescent mind, you just kind of wanted to please,
Okay.
and you kind of wanted,
So that was
this
your way
must,
of getting acceptance, or
I
you were
guess,
feeling accepted?
yeah, I guess, yeah. So with him after that, now started coming like people from the neighborhood that were
You
my
mean coming
age.
after you?
Well, guys that was my age, I would find myself, like I remember walking through a path, um, in the area where we lived. It was a path that led from the apartment complex to another street. And I'm just walking, and I had no thoughts ever of this guy being gay or bisexual because little girls loved him so much. You know what I'm saying? So I never, it never even crossed my mind. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, I got to use the bathroom right quick. So I kind of stopped and waited for him to use the bathroom. And then he was like, oh, wait, come here for a second. Come here, let me show you something. And then when I came around where he was at, and, he was exposed.
Exposed.
And then, yeah,
This is
then
outside.
yeah,
Outside.
in the woods. Yeah. The devil don't care.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So he came after you once again. So people just
Yeah. And I think it was that the
wait.
fact that I always have been so feminine.
But you had a
Um,
praying mother.
yes, I had a praying mother.
But you had a praying mother.
I did definitely have a praying mother. You're so crazy.
I gotta throw that in there.
But yeah, so yeah, after that, now I'm in what my teens. I'm in junior high school, and I even had teachers. Um, yeah,
Wait, whoa,
like
you got raped.
teachers. I had as in junior high school. I even had teachers that never per se molested me or touched me, but the conversation with me and the suggestive looks and the suggestive energy just kind of let me know the only reason I'm not is because I'm a teacher and I don't want to lose my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I had a teacher at my high school, Lynn Bloom, Lindblom, Lynn Bloom, Bloom, Bloom.
Okay.
That's all right. Yeah, I forgot his name. Malloy. Yeah, he went after a few boys, but one of
Yeah.
them came to the reunion as a woman.
It's very, very, and to the mothers that's got boys in school now, it's very prevalent in the school. And if you notice, we have more male teachers now than ever.
Mm,
Yes, we do. We
didn't
have
think
more
that was a
male
bad
teachers,
thing.
huh?
Didn't think it was a bad thing till now.
Oh, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I've even had principals as I was raising my son that I've gotten into it about with them. Like, I don't even like the way you look at my son. And they, what are you talking about? You know, to the point of me having to bring a lawyer with me to some meetings at the school when he was in junior high schools because they try to act like they could not understand what I was trying to convey.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so the next time I come and have to talk to you guys, I'm gonna bring an attorney with me. I'm sure she got just as many degrees as you have. So anything that you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm gonna ask her to say it for me so that you totally get it. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. It was just sickening to me to watch
So they came
men.
after your son.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you know, my son was not my biological son.
Yeah, but still, they came after your son, like you living in Sodom and Gomorrah, and they were like, "Bring your son out so we can have him
Yes,
too."
yes,
It's pretty much
yes.
like that now.
Yes, yes. I was very protective of him because I knew what I had experienced as a child and as a young teenage boy. I knew the things I have experienced from grown men, even some of my father's friends. Yes, yes, grown men, grown men.
Your father's friends?
Yes,
What
yes,
the heck? What the
yes,
heck?
yes,
Oh, that's horrible.
yeah.
That's so, it almost feels like you're completely unprotected. Like,
I'm just out here.
right, like you just
Get him!
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
High school was crazy for me. I just had my class reunion. So I'm not trying to call nobody out, but oh boy, high school was crazy. I'm just gonna
Okay.
put it like this.
Hold it closer.
Anybody, the guys that were in high school that was probably most
Hold it.
admired, that was probably most admired in high
Uh-huh.
school. Um, yeah,
Wait a minute, there's a connection there.
yeah,
The ones who were most admired, what they
by
were
women,
by women.
by females, the most attractive, the sports.
What about, okay, so just go ahead and say the ones that were most attractive to the women were they were
Pretty
bisexual?
much. Yeah. Yeah. I remember even in high school working at Wendy's having sex in the refrigerator, in the bathroom with my classmates. I mean, it just wasn't
No.
I swear to
At
God.
Wendy's?
Yes.
Who worked there? Oh, sorry.
I'm not.
No, 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 no. I'm saying, did any of you all work there?
All of us worked there.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. We
All
went to
right,
high
yeah.
school together and we worked at Wendy's together.
Okay.
Okay. So there. I also worked at KFC there. I also worked at Burger King there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, where we can get it in, where we can get it. But that's how it was. It's just It was really crazy. Now that I look back on it, it was like crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm laughing because just when I thought I heard it all.
yeah,
No.
yeah. You'd be surprised. You know what I'm saying? You'd be
Hmm.
really, really surprised. Like, yeah. I can just go on and on and on and on and on, but I'm sure, and what not I'm sure, I know a lot of these people are married now with families and children of their own,
Really?
yes.
They
So I would
decided
never,
they didn't want to go that way. They didn't want to stay that way.
I know that they have families and children of their own. um, so
They wanted a family.
yeah, they wanted a family. So in my eyes, she is totally innocent and the children are totally innocent. So I would never try to out anybody, to that extent. And I know they're gonna see this video, I'm sure. It's a very small Sanford's very small. You know what Sanford is.
But you're not there. You're in
Detroit.
up north. You're in Detroit now.
Yeah, yeah. But
I got a good friend from Sanford. Wait, hold on.
do you?
Hold on. Okay, so Lester,
hmm
how many years did you live life as a woman?
I started living life part-time as a woman um in like 96. 96.
Oh, okay. So it's 26 years ago.
hmm
How did you feel when you put on a woman's clothes?
I felt so comfortable. I felt like, yes, I finally get to show these girls how this is supposed to be worn. I finally get to show them the way this is supposed to be worn.
Did you feel like you
Um,
were more of a woman than women were?
I did. I did. And I think it's because my sister's calling. I think it was because I've always been very femininely shaped. Um, so whenever I put on a skirt for the first time, I like really filled it out. Unlike most men to put on a skirt or a dress, they don't really have hips to fill it
Okay.
out, or what today they do because, but anyway, but back then men were shaped like men, pretty straight up and down. So the first time I ever put on a dress, yeah, I felt like even more like a woman. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
All right.
And the dress probably wasn't the first thing I started with, though. The first thing I started with was the shoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started with the shoes. I had always had a fascination about high heel shoes. So in the 90s, along that time, the platform was out. It had
Yeah.
came back, had made a comeback. So I remember remember Pick and Pay?
You can pay, yeah, man.
Yes, I went to Pick and Pay and I bought this girl platform shoe. Um girl platform shoe with maybe a 3-inch heel to it.
Uh-oh.
And there was a club. Do you remember the club in Greensboro named Babylon's?
Nah, I didn't come to
Okay.
this area till I don't know. I guess it was the 90s, but I didn't club. I was mom at that point.
Okay. So Babylon's was in Greensboro, downtown Greensboro, and my friends and I would go every Thursday night, I think it was something like that. DJ Cedric used to come from DC, and we loved house music. And we loved the party, so I would wear these shoes, and I would go and buy. This is before the dark blue jean thing was really hot and popular. I would go to Walmart and buy Wrangler dark denim blue jeans and buy them tight, and I will put the cuff in them so they're a little high waterish. And yeah, we rhinestoned them and all that kind of stuff at home before we went.
You
Yeah,
bling them out. You call
okay.
it bling now.
Way
Okay.
before Nelly ever done it. Okay. Remember Nelly came out with the belt?
I-
Me and my friends was already getting beat up for wearing that stuff. We was already fighting for wearing it, and then Nelly came and he just made it all right. Yeah, but I
oh
think I
my.
started with the shoes.
Okay.
The makeup came in
Hold it.
because
Hold it up.
okay, oh, the makeup came in because I remember I had went on this orange juice drinking binge one time. Like I wanted orange juice all the time. And all of a sudden I lost coloration in my face. Like I had really light blotches in my face all of a
What?
sudden, right? And I had a client that worked for GNC. So she gave me this little detox, 7-day detox to take. Um, but before that, I had another client that sold Mary Kay, and I got some makeup from her to cover the blotches and make it blend. And that was the very first time of my experience of wearing makeup.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
it's almost like he lured me into the makeup thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Reminds me
Be-
of a friend of mine in Michigan.
but the shoes, I got my behind tore up all my life for whenever my mom wasn't home, and this is after we were too old to have a babysitter with us. Okay, I'm thinking like 10, she would leave us at home. Would she go to Wednesday night Bible study? We were to do our homework and watch TV till she get her and my father got back. You do not open the door for anybody. Well, I would go in her closet and I put me on some shoes.
Mm.
And we lived in an apartment, and sometimes I would scuff the floor with the heels because I would shout in them. I catch the Holy Ghost.
You will put on your mama's shoes and pretend like you were shouting in church.
Yeah. Yeah. I would catch
That's
the Holy Ghost.
wild.
And she would come home and she would be livid.
These
She
are
would
high heel
be,
shoes,
yeah, yeah.
stilettos, like
Well, no, she didn't. At the time, she didn't. They had like a little heel on. It wasn't
like
quite
two
big.
inch, 2 inch,
Yeah,
two,
two or
two and
three
a
inch.
half.
But me personally, the only thing I ever bought as far as a heel was at least 4 inches, 3.5, 4 inches up. Yeah, yeah. If I had on a heel, I had on a heel. If I didn't have on a heel, it was definitely a flat gym shoe or something like that. But it got to the point where I got so strategic with putting on her clothes and shoes when she would leave home because I felt so comfortable in them. I just felt so comfortable and so pretty in them, um, that I would open her closet door and I would stand there and I would memorize how everything is because she was very particular. And before I touched anything, I would just stand there and this type of kind of look so I could know how to put it right back how she had it. But
How old were
apparently,
you? How old were you wearing her clothes?
so this was going on. I probably started doing that like maybe 7, 8, 9.
No.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when did you go all out transgender woman?
Okay, so remember the guy that I told you that I said was gonna be my
The
boyfriend,
cousin.
the
Okay.
cousin, yeah. He and I started dating, and it was probably a year into us dating, and I told him that I think I wanted to be, and he said, "Do it." And for some reason, that's all it took. So
Mm.
at that time, I started like buying little things, and then he and I had broke up, and I got into the church again, right?
So you were
And
out of the church when you were with him.
yes, well, yeah, for the most part. Well, no, I wasn't because I was still directing choirs and all this kind of stuff. So, so no, I wasn't really out of the church, but I didn't dress as a woman going to church. I was dressed as feminine as I could when I go to work, but when I would go to the club, I would be very, very, very girly, very, very
Okay.
much girly. Um, so I kind of came out of the club, tried to get back into the church, and there was a small ministry going on in Sanford. And I can call his name now because I just found out he passed. Pastor Jennings, and me and my friend Dwayne, he was also um, struggling with the lifestyle as well, living the lifestyle. And we actually love the Lord so much, and we really, really wanted to be free. So we were really cut all ties with the clubs and all this other stuff that we were doing, and we really went for it. He was a young pastor. We really supported him. I had a great deal of influence in the community because of who my mom was, because of the fact that I directed choirs. I even started the high school choir, at least senior there, when I was in 11th grade. I was the founder of that choir. They did not even want it. I had to petition for like 2 years before they ever allowed us to have it. My 12th
Oh,
grade year, they allowed us to have it. So I had a great deal of influence on, especially church people my age at the time. So I was dealing with this ministry, and Dwayne and I had went to the pastor's house one night, and when we walked in the door, we knew what was going down. Like, it was the pastor, some more of his friends. I'm just gonna put it like
wait,
that.
what?
Yeah.
Wait, wait,
It's,
wait, 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 hold it. Hold up. You went there for that purpose?
no, 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 no. I can't remember. It definitely wasn't that purpose because, and I know
But
that
you
we
also
did.
you randomly went to the pastor's house. Just
No, we were going there for a reason. I can't remember now. That's been 20 some years ago. It's been
okay.
20 some years, so I can't remember
That's too
exactly
close. Too
why.
close.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
I can't remember exactly why we were going there,
But not for
but
that.
it wasn't for that. That was nowhere near our minds. Okay, but
Okay.
Dwayne and I, we were so close. We had this little thing that we would do like this.
Uh-huh.
This means what in the world is going on,
Okay.
right? So whenever we came in the house and we saw the people that were there at the house, he and I looked at each other and said,
Uh-huh.
"Okay, all right." So that kind of messed me up because I'm a black and white type of person. Either I
Oh no.
am
So wait, when you went there, you suspected they were all,
trying to have an orgy.
wait a minute. So you felt like it was that meeting was specifically for that reason. And
Yeah,
y'all just happened to show up at that time, or you weren't invited?
we
Or
were
they
invited.
you were
We were
okay.
we were
Oh my
invited.
gosh. The
We were
pastor.
invited. Yeah, we were invited. We were supposed. I don't know why we were invited because I know that we would have never gone to his house. Just we would have never gone to his house just to go. I know that.
Oh,
So I
okay. Okay.
know that we were invited. I can't remember what we were going for. We were supposed to be going to dinner. I don't know what we were going for, but um, yeah. Whenever we came in, he and I just kind of looked at each other and was like, yeah, I don't know.
Y'all were the youngest ones in the room,
um, I think there was another guy that's around our age.
but everybody else was older.
Yeah,
And these were the people from the men from the church.
yes,
Oh my God. And this was in was it the 80s or the 90s?
this is in the 90s.
The 90s.
Hmm.
What did
Yeah.
that man die of?
If I'm not mistaken, it's a heart attack.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. Um. So, and I just recently found out that he died. Actually,
Okay.
I hadn't seen my friend Dwayne in probably like 15 years. And the first weekend that I saw him at my sister's birthday party that I had for her in 2022, we were sitting up at the hotel room talking. We said, "When the last time you heard from Jennings?" And he was like, "Oh no, let's Google him. Let's see, can we find him real quick?" We Googled his name, came up, he was dead. Like, oh my
Mm.
goodness, yeah. So
How
that night,
did you participate? I'm sorry, go ahead. I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no, no, I didn't. No, actually, nothing actually happened that night. It was
But
just
you felt like it was, you knew?
supposed to. You know what
How
I'm
did you
saying?
know? How did you know that's what he was setting up?
The energy, the
So,
energy. Now, Dwayne on the other hand. Now he went to the back room. Now I don't know what happened back there with him. You know what I'm saying? But um, I know after that night, we kind of started to pull back
From
from
the church?
the church. Yeah, yeah. It was like going downhill from there. After that, I'm like, you know what? I can't even do this. I'm about to go buy me some dresses and some stiletto heels, and I get with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And at that time is around the time I decided I'm gonna just move away. I'm moving to Detroit, and I'm gonna just start a total different life.
So you want to start fresh as a woman.
Yes.
So you were all in as a transgender woman in Detroit.
Yes.
Start your deliverance journey today with the Breaking Curses 101 School of Deliverance. You can get delivered in the privacy of your own home. We've served over 6,000 people since 2016. So check out my link in the description below to take my free course to get started.